All right, so Myq Kaplan, he just recorded a podcast interview for Between Dreams podcast. That'll come out in probably a couple weeks. We'll schedule that right around the new album coming out.
That'd be great.
So that'll be coming out in February
2017, in case you're watching this in the far, far future.
It already came out, maybe. It's sometimes all that we can do is show up and do the work that we have to do today.
Yes.
Instead of thinking of this ultimate goal of, like, your example was, instead of saying, I'm going to have a TV show that gets picked up and gets produced, gets turned into an actual TV show, has a lot of things that are out of our control.
Yes.
Where what's in our control is you can say, by this date 6 months from now, I'm going to have the thing written, done, to hand off to somebody, and that's something that I can do.
Yes.
So I wanted to allow you to have a minute or two to expand on that and just share kind of your thoughts on that. And maybe hit back into, a couple days ago, I talked about the book, Finite and Infinite Games, and it was funny in your conversation earlier, that came up as well, and I think it's such an important thing of what I talked about the other day of play the game. The point of this game that we're playing isn't to win. There's no golden ticket. There's no top of the mountain. There's no horizon to reach. There is a game that winning the game means being able to continue to play.
And so make it, hopefully, a game that you love playing. Like, that's why to do almost anything. Certainly to do something creative. Like, here's a story that I didn't tell that I think fits. I did a show a couple weeks or months ago, sometime towards the end of 2016, that a friend of mine, Jo Firestone, who's an amazing, hilarious comedian, she does these weird shows and really cool, different things. And this show was called Comedian Friends of Single People, I believe. And the show structure is like a dating game show where actual single people come to the show, sign up, but they don't go on stage. They meet a comedian, and a comedian represents them. So there's like one comedian picking, and then three comedians vying to be picked. And we're playing like either the character, we're basically playing the character of that person that we had like a 10-minute conversation with.
Yeah.
And it's really fun, like, because the people are kind of, everybody can be interested. You ask them questions and you learn, you're like, well, this is who I'm going to be, representing you to try to get you picked, or to try to pick. And it was super, super fun. And after the show, a woman came up to me and she was like, that was so amazing. Like, how do I get to, like, do that? How do I get to be, like, a very specific goal. Like, how do I get to be on the stage of this show that happens maybe not even once a month, but whenever Joe does it, like, maybe a few times a year? I'm like, well, I mean, the answer is we're all comedians. Everybody who is on the panel is a comedian, so I would say a good way is to start doing comedy, and then many years from now, hopefully you'll be friends with Joe. And
when the show doesn't exist anymore, you'll be right there ready for it.
And she was like, oh, I don't want to do stand-up. And I'm like, okay, like, what do you want to do? And she's like, I mean, I want to end up on Saturday Night Live. And I'm like, okay, well, then look at how do you want to be, like, in front of the camera? Like, because then most of those people do improv. So maybe, do you take improv classes? Have you been to improv shows? Like, what is your... And she's like, I don't know if that's what... And she's like, maybe I want to be more of a writer. I'm like, okay, well then I recommend writing. Like, I'm like, what is the thing that you like doing? Like, that's the first question. What do you enjoy, or what do you see people do that you think you would enjoy? And you're like, if you're like, I don't know, like, well, what brings you joy? What do you like, and what are you good at? And are you not good at anything that you like? Well, then keep doing the things that you like, and you'll get better at them. Like, maybe you won't be the best, but I was bad at, everybody is not capable of doing a thing until you do it.
Yeah.
So the point is, if you love doing something and you're not good at it, or if you are good at it, like, just you get better by doing it. So figure out what you like, what you want, and then do the things, or ask people, like, and then once people tell you the answer is to do those things, then leave them alone.
Yeah, and again, it's like so many of us see, oh, this person is doing this, I want to do that. And I was just saying about how I have friends who have huge YouTube accounts. I'm like, I want that. How did you get there? Oh, 8 years ago, I started making a video every day. That's what they say. It's like, okay, so do that. You don't get a big...
Oh, yeah.
It's not the cause and effect of that. It's like what you said, the grateful to be happy and happy to be grateful.
Yeah.
It only works one way.
And there's one more thing that I thought about the thing with this woman that I'm very grateful for the conversation that I had with her, because it helped me frame these ideas for me and like for other people if I give advice, or just, you know, with my friends talking about, like, she was basically saying like, how do I do everything?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you start with one thing. And she's like, no, I think you misunderstood. I want to do everything. And I'm like, oh, everything's made of little things.
Yeah.
You must do a thing in order. She's like, okay, I wanna fly. And I'm like, well, you have to build a plane. I don't know what whatever it is. So it's really it's fun. I'm glad I'm where I am, having done all the little things to get here, and also I'm sure that the things that I'm doing are still chunking into bigger and bigger things that I don't know what they'll be. So good luck, that lady and every lady, and also people who aren't ladies if you want. You probably have it better already.
And all of you. Okay, cool. That was great. And again, our podcast episode will be coming out in February-ish. And in the meantime, go check out your Netflix special, which is called
Small, Dork, and Handsome.
Amazing.
Thanks for doing that.
The album coming out in February, you'll hear more about that.
Oh, yeah.
And if you love the Netflix special, go to YouTube, find 5 Conan appearances.
Oh, yeah.
Last Comic Standing, America's Got Talent, where Heidi says, finally, someone made me laugh out loud.
And that was really my ultimate goal when I set out to do comedy.
You made it.
14, 15 years ago, I was
Screw
like...
everything we just said. You made it.
Yes.
You're done.
I want a model to think that I'm funny. I want a model to laugh at me. Wait, that's been happening for years. I'm sure of it. And also, I'd love to have you on my podcast sometime, so we'll make that happen.
Look for that.
Hang Out With Me is that name.
Alright guys, thanks again for listening. Subscribe to the channel for more stuff like this, because the more people that subscribe, the more people will say yes to being on the show. Okay, goodbye.
Bye.